Hi, I'm Stephanie Moon Reynolds. I am a Roanoke City Council member. I am a former Roanoke City clerk of the council. And I have been reading for Read It Across America for about 9 years. So this is my first time reading as an elected official. So I'm excited to be with you all today. And I want to bring to you a book under the title of Ruby Bridges. This is your time. This story is about a 6-year-old girl who started to go to school during integration. She was the first Black child to attend a public school. And the fascinating thing about her is that she had to go with police officers, going with her to class and attending with her when she left school. So I thought this would be appropriate for the time such as now. So I want to start with the first page, which says, "To the young peacemakers of America, 60 years ago in 1960, my life changed forever. Although I was not aware of it, our nation was changing too, just like it is today. What I remember about that time through my 6-year eyes is that there was extreme unrest, much like we are today. I was chosen to be the first Black child to go on to an all-white school, William France Elementary School in my hometown, New Orleans." And this is a picture of Ruby Bridges when she was 6 years old. I did not know that I had stepped into the history books. And here's a picture of her in Washington, D.C. at the monument. And it is when the 1954 U.S. Supreme Court decision, Brown versus Board of Education, deemed racial segregation in schools unconstitutional. For my whole first grade year, I had to be escorted to and from school by 4 federal marshals under the order of the President of the United States because people were afraid for my safety. Going into and coming out of school every day, I walked through crowds of people yelling, screaming, threats, throwing things at 6-year-old me. They were against the integration of Black and white children in the same school. I had been so excited to meet and make new friends at school and was met with something utterly different and terrifying. It was a difficult decision for both of my parents to agree to let me go on to school along with the marshals, especially my dad, but they knew it was necessary. My father, like most dads, wanted nothing more than to protect his little girl. But as a young Black man, it was not safe for him to walk me to school. My father loved me more than I would ever know, and I felt that he was my very own hero. He was also a real hero, having received a Purple Heart for bravery while serving overseas in the Korean War. But he did not return to a hero's welcome. There was little work given to young Black men back then. When I arrived at this all-white school that first day, all the white parents rushed in and pulled out their kids. They didn't want their children going to school with me. But why? I didn't understand. They had never met or even seen me before now. So how could they know what kind of person I was? But none of that mattered. I don't think they even saw a child. All they saw was the color of my skin. I was black, and that meant I didn't matter. Some teachers even quit their jobs because they didn't want to teach black children. My teacher, Barbara Henry, came all the way from Boston to teach me. For the entire year, she sat alone with me in the classroom and taught me everything I needed to know. She really made school fun. We never missed a day that whole year. We knew we had to be at school for each other. I felt safe and loved, and that was because of Mrs. Henry, who, by the way, looked exactly like the women in the screaming mob outside. But she wasn't like them. She showed me her heart, and even at 6 years old, I knew she was different. Barbara Henry was white, and I was black, and we mattered to each other. She became my best friend. I knew that if I got safely past the angry crowd outside and into my classroom, I was going to have a good day. And here's a picture of Mrs. Henry and Ruby Bridges today. Outside of that classroom, the world seemed a very violent place. I later learned that those people in the mob had hatred towards me solely because of the color of my skin. I thought often of the lessons of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., who gave his life trying to teach us to judge people not by the color of their skin, but by the content of their character. Truly, these people did not agree with him. Our elders said back then that if black folks really wanted to see change, they had to step up to the plate and do it themselves. Somebody had to be first. But because I was first, my father was fired from his job. Over the last 25 years, I've had the honor of meeting so many of you in person in your schools as I've traveled across the country and around the world. In your faces and through our interactions, I have seen innocence, love, respect, kindness, and sometimes even sadness. I recall once meeting little Megan, who said that I was truly her hero, and that because I'm so brave, she had to be brave like me. She had to seek help because her father was abusing her mom. Meg is truly a testament to bravery in the midst of sadness. And young Ryan, who explained how we are all the same, just like his puppy Rex. His golden retriever is strong and fast and does awesome tricks, and he loves it more than anything. Jimmy, Ryan's best friend, has a collie that is black with white stripes. It is not quite as fast as Ryan's dog, but it is smarter. Jimmy loves his dog too. Yes, the dogs are different, but they are both loved. Both are just dogs, the same. I see that as a true expression of love and respect. Another time I met Vay, who said we are all like a bag of M&Ms, different on the outside, but the same inside. Gotta love those M&Ms. I have not witnessed hatred or bigotry when I've looked into your young eyes, regardless of what you look like or where you came from. I saw some of my 6-year-old self in you. You did not care about the color of each other's skin, and I have loved seeing that because I saw hope that then most people don't get a chance to see. And I thank you for sharing that. I have been saying for many years how I believe racism is a grown-up disease, and we adults must stop using you, our kids, to spread it. None of you is born into the world of racism. It is we adults who pass racism on. In so many ways, we have failed you by not setting the example you deserve. I have always believed it is our role as grown-ups to guide, lead, and teach our children to set the best example, just as you must do as you grow up. As I've watched events unfold over the many years, and especially since May 2020, I am reminded of the strength and resiliency of young people. I agonize over the horrific violence we see over and over against Black people. My heart aches because I know the reality of the world we are living in today. I am a Black mother of 4 Black sons. My eldest son, Craig, was murdered. The loss of any child, no matter their age, is a parent's worst nightmare. Such a loss does destroy families. I feel your pain. My heart goes out to all those who have experienced Black lives lost. Those lives had meaning and purpose to their families, so indeed they mattered. When I think about how great this country could be, America, land of the free, home of the brave, I think about what Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. said about great. Everybody can be great because everybody can serve. You only need a heart full of grace. Really, it is that love and grace for one another that will heal this world. It is that love and grace that will allow us to see one another as brothers and sisters. It is that love and grace that will allow us to respect the many ways God has made all of us unique and will allow us to turn our stumbling blocks into stepping stones. Stepping stones toward the America we know we can be, united, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Protests continue in streets across America and far beyond. I am so inspired by you and by everyone out there making change happen. I know, and you must remember, what can inspire tomorrow often lies in our past. May my past, my story inspire you. The first step toward change are never easy, but 6-year-old Ruby Bridges taught us that it is necessary to take those steps. Don't be afraid. This is your time in history. Keep your eyes on the prize, and at all costs, stay united. From Ruby Bridges. And I want to take this opportunity to thank Roanoke City Public Schools for this opportunity to read this book to you all and to say we all have a place in history. I had my history making when I became the first African American city clerk of the city of Roanoke. That was my first step in history. So I say go forth, make your history, make your mark. Thank you.